It was a night of extended opportunity for both teams on a Monday night at the Benito Villamarin. Real Betis playing home to Mallorca to round out match day 6 in LaLiga EA Sports. And on this Monday, we had plenty of fireworks from both sides. Betis and Mallorca getting an opportunity to stretch their legs a little bit with two attacks who have been curbed by some of the bus parking opposition that they've had to deal with. It got started real early. Giovanni Lo Celso found himself in space. This is 7 minutes in. Pick that out, why don't you? How about that for a finish to put Betis in front? And in the time that it's going to take to show you the replays of this goal, that's going to be about the same amount of time between the first goal in this game and the second. Just keep that in mind. Lo Celso from distance, he scored 2 goals midweek against Getafe to find victory in that game. And he starts brilliantly for Betis in this one. But right out of the restart, officially 82 seconds later, Kyle Larin under control. Dani Rodriguez, 1-1. An absolutely necessary response from Mallorca, and a response that would send them on their way in this game, because that goal really set up the entertainment value for the rest of the game. Betis otherwise would have probably chosen to pack it in just a little bit, settle on their 1-goal lead, at least maybe until halftime. Instead, both sides were forced to do what they set out to do at the beginning of this game, and that was look for goal. Vitor Roque getting his 2nd consecutive start. And Dominic Grief came up injured after this one. He would stay in the game, but it looked like a pretty painful knee injury. Not serious in the end. And with this 1-1 scoreline, the chances just kept coming. Now, some of these weren't finished off in the way that they might be on other nights, but every cross, every half chance resulted in hearts and throats. Robert Navarro was a big part of that. He sent it in for Samu Costa. That is one of those chances that you would peg him to finish. He was onside, but his header went right into the arms of Rui Silva. And this was the common theme of the night. There was one moment too here that we sort of wondered what was happening. Giovanni Lo Celso sent off after a challenge in the midfield. Jimmy Avila subsequently booked afterwards. There was never any doubt that this was going to be rescinded. No red card for Lo Celso. He got the ball first, the studs were down, and yes, he did take out Costa, so it was downgraded from a red card to a yellow, rightfully so. It kept Lo Celso in the game, and more importantly, it kept the game on the same trajectory that we had been enjoying up to that moment. As the game progressed, both sides had chances. Betis had more of the ball, but when Mallorca had it, this is what they were doing, just constantly trying to pressurize the Betis defense. And there was a chance here for Navarro. This ball was illegally put into the back of the net by an offside Sergi Darder. Navarro wasn't offside, though. That was a real chance there. Darder just half a step offside, but surely it wouldn't count. As we inched towards halftime, Lo Celso put in a semi-dangerous cross. He was the heart and soul facilitator for Betis on this night. Second half action, and Betis tried to pick up where they left off. How about this for a first touch from Abde? Set himself up on his right foot. You were sure it was 2-1. Double posty. He needed it to bend, but it stuck. It didn't curl in the way he was hoping it would at that far post. would have been a brilliant finish. Abde was a consistent threat down the left-hand side, as he has been really all season. And the first touch bug was contagious because Chimi Avila tried to set it up here. Victor Roque again forcing a save out of grief, the second time that was the case. On the cutback from Avila. These were the chances that you're thinking one of these eventually for either side has to be finished off. They did it from every which way too. Altimira needed a better finish here, but typically you have a great first half like you had in this one, and then maybe the second half tapers off a little bit or vice versa. Not the case tonight. This was 90 minutes of constantly needing to keep your eye on the ball. Credit to Mallorca, they had spells of possession like this where they were able to knock it around a little bit, looking for something to create. They found their way into the box with relative ease. An unmarked Robert Navarro couldn't get enough power behind this crossing effort from Mojica. And he has all day to set up shop, Navarro, but not a whole lot you can do from a ball that comes in at that height. Back and forth we went. It was Betis' turn. Bellerin looking for his cutback. Abde was waiting. Antonio Sanchez with some necessary defending. The 47,000 fans at the Benito Villamarin never wavered. They tried to stay loud for their side. Triple change for Betis with Cedric Bakambu, Pablo Fornals, Romain Perrault, placing Ricardo Rodriguez, Roque and Avila. A nice moment as well from Chimi Avila, who, being subbed out of the game, answered the call of the ask for Avila's shirt, which he obliged. Mallorca bringing on Jose Copete and continuing to try and force the issue on the counter. Johan Mojica using his speed. And he would ultimately get this ball back to Roberto Navarro, sees the run of Mojica, puts it into his path, and instead of going high this time, Mojica goes with a low effort. Rodriguez was there. Just couldn't guide it far enough into the corner. It turned into a relatively smooth save for Silva. Under Jacobo Arrasate, this is the difference we've seen in Mallorca this year from last year. They're not going to just sit back and absorb pressure the entire time. They'll pick their moments. You got to make those moments count. They're doing a really decent job so far this year of that. Winners of 2 of their last 3 heading into this game. There was a chance for Bakambu, a recovery header from Copete after the mistake by Mojica to put it into Grief's arms. Copete, who couldn't clear it initially, and then Mojica almost gifted it to Bakambu, and then came the changes that would ultimately determine the game. Abdon Prats, Valery Fernandez, and Chiquinho all coming on, and one of those 3 would come up with a winner on this night. Good run from Rodriguez, Navarro, and Kyle Laren. They changed out the front 3 for an entirely new front 3. Bellerin took a shot to the head, needed to get patched up. While he was, Sergi Altimira made way for Aitor Ruibal. Juanmi came back on for a slightly longer appearance than the 5 minutes that he saw against Getafe on Wednesday. has to be said, for the final 15 minutes or so, Mallorca weren't so much concerned about finding a winner, more so just taking the point that they worked so hard to earn. They still had to defend, and Lo Celso, who scored from a similar position in the first half, decided why not. Wanted to give it a go. Out came Sergi Donader, and in came Tony Lato, which was a defensive-oriented sub. Arrasate says, yeah, point's good at the Benito Villamarin. We'll take that. And then we went from one side to the other very quickly. Marc Roca, back post, Aitor Ruibal for a winner. And how about that save from Grief? Saving the point for Mallorca, or what actually turned out to be a bit more than that. But without this save, Mallorca get nothing. And this is the angle to see it. A strong right hand to keep it out of the far post. And that allowed Mallorca to push forward with one last corner into stoppage time. Chiquinho takes it, back post bound, Valery Fernandez. Thank you very much. 3 points to Mallorca. It takes a deflection off of Bellerin, the man on loan from Girona. Scores his first Mallorca goal, and it's a winner on the road. And that vaults Mallorca into the 5th spot in LaLiga EA Sports. They win it on a Monday night at the Benito Villamarin. Betis 1, Mallorca 2.